Eggy Drago. I am the cream of the crop. I am the yolk on top. I'm a part-time video store clerk, a part-time brawler. Oh yeah, and a full-time human being. Wow. When I went to Tokyo back in February 2024, I went to an idol concert on a whim because my VTuber Oshi, who graduated, was into that scene. Needless to say, I got hooked. Yeah, I think we bought too many Checkies. After talking to a few idols, I realized every single one of them has a story, be it why they chased this dream, their ups and downs, and even their future after all this. And that's what I'm here to do. Learn more about the idol culture, the various scenes around the world, and to give them a platform to tell their stories. Every idol has a dream and a story to tell. This is IDOLEYEZ.
It's not a party without me, alright? It's not a fucking party without me. Why are you over there? Come forward. Come forward.
An OG to the Australian idol scene, we'll speak to Kristy about her path to becoming an idol, from being a founding member of FAEBLE to going solo in the Melbourne scene. All eyes on me. IDOLEYEZ, episode 13, Aussie Open Arc, part 5. Kristy, tonight at 5 p.m. PDT, 8 p.m. EDT, and for the Australians, today, 10 a.m. AEST. Gotta wait for OBS Ninja to... Alright, there we go. Whoa. Hello. It's...
Yay!
I am the cream of the crop. I am the yolk on top. This is Mighty Eggy Drago. And we are here for IDOLEYEZ episode 13 with our guest for tonight / this morning. She is she is an elite FF14 player. She beat Endwalker in 2 days. She is a former member of FAEBLE. She is currently a solo dolo idol. This is Kristy. Kristy, how are you?
That was beautiful. That was so good. Are you kidding? Wow. I beat Endwalker in 2 days. So true. I'm
So
definitely
true.
still not in the midst of Endwalker. That's so real. Hello. Hi.
Hello. Kristy, how are you on this fine morning?
Oh, never let me never let me be convinced to wake up early again. Never. I have my coffee. I'm ready to go. I feel very sleepy, but that's my own fault because I was up late playing Final Fantasy. So I brought this upon myself, realistically. But I am feeling good. I am ready to go. Hi, chat. Hey,
Chat.
guys.
Oh, do like most of your viewers know that you're an idol, or like
It's like a weird crossover. So I never really on stream. I didn't talk a lot about idols, and it's only in the last year and a half that I've been like, oh, by the way, guys, come to my performances. This is a threat. Yeah. So they do know. There's not a whole heap of crossover because people are either supporting me for my idol stuff or my Final Fantasy content. So the crossover is a very specific niche group of people, which is great. We love them.
Yeah. All right. Let's get this interview on the road. This is finally happening. This was supposed to happen last week, but we both got sick. So
Oh, it was so bad.
It was
I
really
felt
bad.
so
for me.
terrible.
Me too.
Oh,
All right. We're going to take you back to the past, to your origin
Past.
story, your villain idol origin story.
my villain storyline.
And I got to ask, who or what got you into idol culture?
So, when I was a young wee little lad, I saw an anime. I saw a Love Live. I think it was one of the first episodes when Love Live first started airing. And I remember I found it the other day. I should have taken a screenshot. It came up in my Facebook memories of me taking a photo of my laptop screen with Kotori on it, being like, I want to do this one day with my friends. This looks really fun. And then like you can see like 2 people commented on it being like, that's weird. And I was like, okay. Sure, I guess. But from the Love Live pipeline, I also got into like Idolmaster. I'm a big Cinderella Girls fan. And then I just went on like a bunch of YouTube deep dives. And now I'm here and I'm lost forever to the idol life.
Well, just like what Ria said to me, welcome to idol hell. So
Yeah, true, real. She's so real for that.
who's your favorite like Love Live member?
Okay, so because I used to be in a Love Live cover group.
Yep.
I used to cover I used to cover Nozomi and Kanan from Sunshine. My favorite characters are Nozomi and Ellie because Happy Pride.
Yeah, Garnet
but
Glass.
also, yes. I'm a recent Nico enjoyer, honestly.
Ooh, Nico's good. Nico is like misunderstood for the most part.
Yeah, I think I hated her at the beginning, and I think after like a while, like a solid few years, I was like, you know what, Nico ain't that bad actually. I think she's all right.
So
yeah.
So segueing on to like in Love Live, joining a Love Live cosplay cover group, which was Muse Australia.
Yeah.
How did that come to be?
Well, I'm a founding member of Muse. So I was around when we first like did our first thing not as Muse. Our first ever event was at Neko Nation, which was I don't know, has anyone mentioned Neko Nation to you?
No, they have not.
Oh my gosh. This is like the forefathers event. So where it doesn't run anymore, but it's basically a like any anime song rave. And it had like a lot of local artists, a lot of local DJs. It would go all the way around Australia. And that was the first event that we performed at with members of Muse, but we weren't actually Muse yet. We hadn't like been like, let's actually do this. But we had basically been asked to do a performance and a few of our friends. And then we're like, okay, let's get like a group together and it'll be fun. And we'll do like, I can't even remember. I think we did like Kaguya and like, it was really not rave appropriate songs. They were a bit slow. But we ended up doing those, and we were in like the Cheongsam outfits. I was cosplaying Ellie, and then after that night, we're like, "What if we do this again? That would be really fun." Like I had a good time, and then so we decided to make Muse, and then the rest is in history books now because we were really old. That was 2016 that we did that event. And then we debuted at SmashCon, which is like Australia's biggest anime convention, which we just had 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which is why I was so sick.
Yeah, super spreader event.
Yeah. So we went from like a little anime rave to like the biggest anime con in Australia. But this was back when it was at a different venue and it wasn't as big as it was. And yeah, we literally danced on like the pavement outside. There was like a random speaker and we were doing Wonderful Rush and Start Dash in the Wonderful Rush outfits and it was great. And then we continued.
So Muse ran from when I was looking for footage for your MV and Ria's MV and also Amy's MV, so it ran from like I want to say like 2016 and then 2020 was like the last posted thing, right?
Yes. So we had a bit of like a soft hiatus, I guess you could say. We basically with Muse, so we started practicing and stuff around end of 2016, and then we performed at Smash 2017. We did anime covers, like anime like cosplay covers until about I think it was like for a solid 3 years. before we branched into like original Idol stuff. But yeah, we basically had like what had happened was one of our members, so we were all quite close as a friend group, which was really nice. And it was a very understanding space. And basically one of our members was pregnant, which was really exciting. Our mama Rosie had a baby, and we were like, okay, well, we really can't see ourselves doing much, not as all of us. So let's maybe just go on a bit of a hiatus for a bit, and maybe we'll come back later. And that's when we were like, okay, let's do like individual projects. CTRP was already around, but that was the birth. The birth of Fable was the birth of Rosie and Tash having children, because another member also had a baby. Our two oldest members were like, peace out, I'm actually gonna go have a family, and we're all like, so yeah, that's it's a weird pipeline to look at, I realized, because like it doesn't even say like, oh, this is our last post ever. It literally just says, thanks for coming to our live, and that's the last one we had. Yeah.
So I guess like going back a bit, going back a bit before being in Muse, did you have like any previous experience with like vocals, with like dancing?
So I was a dancer for a very long time, which is upsetting because, oh my gosh, all of my dancing abilities gone out the window. I swear, I feel so old now, and my body just doesn't work. But I used to be a dancer. I used to do so obviously as like a child, I did like jazz and tap and like ballet. And then as I got older, I did a lot of street classes. And I used to do like little kind of weird to think about now, but like there was another guy when I was in high school who was a dancer, and he would take me and we would go with like a bunch of other friends to like stand outside this random building in the city, and we'd just like learn dances off like YouTube. And like he would just like, he wanted to be a choreographer, so he was like, I want to practice, so we'd like learn dances. So yeah, I did have a lot of street and hip hop experience, which people are often surprised at because look at me. But it was like a major part of my life for like a while. I did a lot of hip hop competitions. I was doing that for about 10 years, I'd say. Before, and then like I was doing it on and off while I was in Muse, and then I stopped because I was like, I want to be an anime girl. Yeah.
So you have like some experience with like street and also
yeah,
dance classes.
No singing experience though.
No singing, but like
no.
Oh wait, cause like Muse didn't really sing. It was just
like
choreo, right? Okay.
Yeah, purely like I'd say Muse was purely like a dance cover group. Like we did sing at the end, maybe like the last live or two that we ran, but like realistically, the only people who would sing was like Amy and Sunny, because no one else was really like, we're like, I'm shy, you know.
So okay, so Muse ran for like a couple years. People got babies. Everyone started to do their own thing. Did it surprise you that like so many like Muse like alumni started their own groups, like you, Sunny, Willow, with Fable, CTRP? Like, was it surprising that people like branched off out of Muse?
I don't think so. I think because we were quite close as a friend group, and everyone like to this day still supports each other. Like it's really nice. When Ria came back from Japan for a bit for Smash, I was like, I saw her and I just started fucking bawling my eyes out because I was like, I miss you. That's my baby. I feel like everyone's still very close and supportive. Like there's a bunch of group chats of different people. I actually got a message from the Rosie baby group chat yesterday, and I didn't look at it because I was at work. Whoops, I'm a terrible friend. But yeah, everyone still talks, and I think everyone just wanted the best for each other. And there wasn't many idols or idol groups in Australia at this point. There was like the standouts would have been like there was Amuse and that was about it. Like there was and Etude. But there wasn't many other groups. So kind of splitting off into making more groups kind of felt right and
Right.
made sense. And yeah, everyone still supports each other, so it's really like wholesome.
So we go from Muse, which kind of
Mm.
slowly dissolved, but like everyone went into their own thing, which
Mm.
led to your next group,
Mm.
Fable.
Woo!
So
Woo!
we heard from Sunny's perspective literally like 3-4 days ago. So
Yeah.
like I'll get your perspective on
Mm.
what led to the creation of Fable.
Sunny led to the creation of Fable. We used to say that like, oh, there's no leader in Fable, but like realistically, Sunny was the leader. Me and Willow were just kind of following along. It was basically I remember Sunny wanted to do more. And I was like, I want to do more things. Like, I don't want to just like stop when the babies started coming. So I was like, I don't want to stop. And Sunny was like, I want to do more. I want to do like I don't know, like sing. I want to do like big state. And I was like, yeah, that sounds fucking sick. Let's do that. And then Sunny was like, let's get Willow. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. So it was like a spur of the moment, and we're like, Sunny came up with the name. There was like lore, which we don't talk about the lore. I feel like we tried, but also the lore was fully in Sunny's brain. And every time they would try to explain it to me and Willow, I'd be like, I don't get it. They'd be like, no, it's like we're guardians and we're like fighting for the future and I was like, yeah. But also in my head, I didn't really want to be like an OC idol. So I was like, yeah, Sunny, we can have lore. That's fine. Pat. But I didn't really. And then I think it's still kind of there with the like guardian names. Like I was guardian of the future, and it was kind of like a theme, I feel, rather than a lore creation. But yeah, that's just what happens when like it's hard to communicate things like that, especially for Sunny. I know they struggle a little bit with communication. So they were like, we're gonna do this. Look at this lore. I have this 10-page document. I was like, babe, I'm not reading that. But like, bless. I love that for you. But yeah, it was pretty much Sunny being like, I want to do more. And I was like, yes, I also want to do more. Let's do it. Yeah.
So okay, so it was you, it was Sunny, it was Willow. I asked Sunny this before, but was there like anyone else you wanted as members or no? Prior to Naya and Mayhem.
I feel like at the time there wasn't really anyone else we could have scouted or like taken because okay, Muse. All right. So Rosie had a baby. She's out. Tash also had a baby. Can't take her either. CTRP babies have CTRP. There's just the 3 left over. And then like the rest of the community was pretty small back then. I'd say that like everyone who I would have wanted would have already been in like groups. So it was kind of like, and also like me, Sunny, and Willow were quite like me and Willow's my best friend, so it was very easy to be like, let's just do the 3 of us. And also, I couldn't see anyone else in Fable at that time because we were like, we're gonna have blue, purple, pink. It's gonna be the bi flag. We're gonna have a good time. I couldn't really see anyone else in it at that point.
Okay, so Fable starts. You upload that one, I guess, dance cover.
Koi Halation the War.
Yeah.
Well, cure.
So that happens. I guess like how did you like garner like more interest into the group? Was it through like online? Was it through like performances?
I feel like majority would have been online, because we started and then like not very long after the panini hit, so we were not able to even perform much for like the next year. Um, I think so before like getting attention for Fable was kind of Willow already had past fans, and then I had already had a little bit of a community because I had already been streaming on Twitch for like an amount of time. I think it was like I started streaming the same year I started doing about 2 years before Fable. So I had already had like a community. So we just kind of advertised to our communities, and then we would post a heap. Like I think this is around the same time that I made the Discord. So in Australia we have the Idol Sona Discord, which is not like an Idol Sona, but it's like an abbreviation. It's real smart, and real big brain. It's Idol support of oh my god, I keep saying New South Wales, New Zealand, and Australia. And it's basically a Discord that me and Rosie originally made because we were like, we're having a little bit of the Oz community hasn't always been so close. Everyone clashes every now and then. That's fine. It used to be quite bad when we first started. A lot of weird like, this is my song, you can't do that. And me and Rosie wanted to make like a safe space for people to be like, this is gonna be my set list, or hey, I just did this rehearsal. Like, what do you guys think? And we wanted to make it like a little bit more of a positive experience for people. So we ended up inviting all the idols we knew in the community, and then they invited other idols that they know. And it was like a nice way also to advertise to other idols, be like, hey, we're starting this new group. What do you guys think? Like, we just did this. We'd look at our new PV, and then that would also help with advertising. Yeah. But a lot of online.
So, lots of stuff happening online. Do a little bit more like MVs. And then you guys organize your first one-man live. First one-man live ever. Yeah. So how was I guess like organizing that?
It was very intense because venues in Sydney are very few and far between. I feel like, especially online, I feel like every time I talk to like an overseas idol from like America, they're like, oh, you guys have so many things. I'm like, we have one venue, two venues, firstly. Like, I swear it's not that big. It's one venue we have. There's not a lot that's open, and it's quite hard and very expensive, obviously, to run a live show. So we're very lucky that in Sydney, because Sydney is the main hub for idols, I would say. Brisbane is kind of like, they're starting to run more events, which is really exciting. And then where I live in Melbourne is still we're developing. It's a slow process. That's okay. But I think in Sydney there was SCAC, which is what everyone uses. And then there's Red Rattler now. And then the first live was held at, oh my gosh, I can't even remember the name. But we basically got it because CTRP had used it, and we were like, oh, this venue is really sick. And they were like, yeah, look how cool it is. And I was like, yeah, whoa, this is like a proper live house. Giant Dwarf. Yes, Giant Dwarf was the venue. And it was like easy to get to and whatever. But it was so difficult. Like, organizing a live show, people don't quite understand how much goes into the admin side of Idol. I think it's very like underappreciated, especially people that run events. Like, Sunny did a lot of the organization, because back in the day it was Sunny doing admin, Willow doing graphics, and I was moral support doing what I can because I don't fucking know how to use Excel spreadsheets. I wish I did. I understand spreadsheets a bit more now, but like back then I was just doing my best to try and support Sunny. um, but yeah, I feel like organizing the first one man was really scary as well because like we didn't know if anyone was going to come. There was people that would come to Muse shows, but we'd only really had like maybe 2 original Idol shows before Fable. So it was a very new experience for a lot of people. And we were like, we don't know if any Woda are going to come. We don't know if like any of our friends are going to be able to come. It had to be over 18 because the venue was over 18 as well, which was also like kind of hard because a lot of the idols in the community were like 17. Like it was quite a young community. And like literally Ryumi was like, "Oh, can I come buy a ticket?" And I was like, "I will let you in if you have a legal guardian with you." And they were like, "Okay, bet." And they bought someone who was like 18 with them. And I was like, "All right, you come in. You can come." But yeah, it was very difficult for sure. But like the payoff was great because we had so many people come. And there was a heap of like older fans in the community and newer fans, which was really nice to see. And it was a really nice blend of them.
I see.
Yeah.
So I guess first one man live, first I guess like performance in front of a crowd as Fable. What went through your head? I guess like performing as Fable in front of that crowd. Like were you nervous or like
I was so nervous. I feel like for me, like I was quite confident in like my dancing ability, but I was still very unconfident in a lot of other aspects of my idol self. I had never really sung before unless you count screaming Paramore lyrics in my bedroom at 3 a.m. Like I hadn't really sung. I hadn't done any like lessons, and I was very nervous because like it's not something I've done in front of people before. So I was hitting myself about singing in front of other people. And then it's also like a self-confidence thing. I wasn't very self-confident when I first started Idol because it's very hard when like and I've mentioned this to Sunny a lot, but when you've got Sunny who is like this petite little gal, little king standing next to you, and then I'm a little bit taller and I'm a little bit thicker, and it's like, oh, people aren't gonna like me. What if they think I'm ugly? They're not gonna like my singing. They're gonna think my dancing is bad. And like I was very in my own head when we first debuted. I was very nervous about all of that sort of stuff. But my whole thing is that I'm an extrovert, so I just shoved that out of the way and was like, "Hey guys, I'm really happy to be here. I swear I'm not scared. It's fine, actually." But yeah, I feel like it went well though. I think it went really well. I was just really, really nervous. And thankfully I don't get nervous anymore before performances. Like I think Smash 2 weeks ago was probably the largest crowd I've performed in front of, and I was like fine. And it didn't really affect me. I think ever since like maybe the ending of the end of my Fable time, I was getting more confident, and now as a soloist, I'm way more confident because I know my ability, I know what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, what I need to work on, and how to work on it. So I think I was very not confident and very nervous. Yeah.
I mean like I guess as a fan, usually like when idols start out, like they, it's rough around the edges, and then gradually over time they improve, and either like at square one they're like not great at singing, not great at dancing, and then over time, maybe like a year, maybe like a few months, they're pretty good, and then so
that's what I think helped me with my confidence, is thinking that way. And I tell that to all the baby idols, like, you're not going to be good at the beginning. And once I accepted that, I was fine. I think that's when I started to gain my confidence, and I wasn't so nervous, and it was like everything was fine. But yeah, like I constantly had to remind myself that people want to see the growth. They don't want to see like a polished idol first up. They want to see the growth of the idol, and because like that's what I love about idols, and I love to see the growth of an idol and seeing like different things they'll improve on over time. So it was yeah, I definitely think that over time we got there.
Yeah.
Oh, hi Peter. Oh, so many cuties in chat. Oh my god.
Oh, Peter.
Hi.
So I guess one man happens. There's people there. And then
They
guess they came. Woohoo. And then lockdown happened. What?
Yay.
So like with the lockdown, that definitely like stalled like growth with the group. But like what did you do during that time to like actually like help, I guess?
Lockdown was kind of rough because so in New South Wales, you've got Sydney, which is here, and then about an hour and a half drive north, you have where myself and Willow were based. So me, like we were really far away from Sunny, so there wasn't any point that we could see each other or Sunny. And the lockdown was quite intense. It was quite strict. Which valid. I get it. It's a pandemic.
Yeah.
I'll stay in my house. I'll just go to work and come home. But I feel it was quite it's quite hard at first because we had gone from rehearsing every weekend, and we had gone from that to not being able to see each other at all. We tried to do like a few like streams. So we did one where I'm pretty sure this was during the pandemic because I remember everyone coming up because it was after the lockdown, but we were still quite heavily restricted on where we could go. But I remember that Sunny and Willow had come over to my house and we were like, we're going to have like a fundraising stream so we can get new microphones for when the pandemic's over and we can have a live again. And that was really fun. It was very hard to make content over that time because I was also working full time. Excuse me. And because I, work in retail hell, I was there very often, and I would literally, because I work at, I don't know what the equivalent would be in America. I work at a JB Hi-Fi, which is like an electronics store.
So like Best Buy for us. So
sure, yeah. Best Buy. I work at a Best Buy. And I was basically in the whole of the experience of the pandemic, I was taking phone calls at my store, being like, hi, this is blah, blah. We don't have any PS5s. I'm sorry. And then hanging up. Like that was my job for a solid 8 months. So it was really hard to do any other idol stuff. And back then, like we were motivated, but we weren't like, the be all end all, like this has to happen. It was very much just making like playlists of like songs we wanted to do and learning and starting to learn things and seeing, because we didn't know when we were going to get out of lockdown either. We didn't know when we would be able to like see each other again and practice and have a show. And even like after the lockdown, when we could have our first show, it was like the audience was capped at I think 10.
Oh yeah.
And they were like sitting they were like sitting with like a few meters in between each other, going back through the room, and then we had a computer in the middle which we streamed the rest of the show on. But it was like we had to be so strict to sell tickets. We're like, there's no calls, you can't stand up. You can wave your light stick and you can clap, but you can't talk. You have to wear a mask. And thinking about the COVID lives is kind of insane because it was not a live show. It was like there was not much interaction with the crowd, which is my favorite part of being an idol, being on stage, and not being able to do that was really difficult. Yeah. And it's hard to be like, yeah, like pump up the crowd. And then they can only sit there and be like,
yeah.
And they can't say anything. So it's like a fever dream. Yeah.
COVID era sucked.
Yeah, it was so bad. Oh my gosh. Never again.
So I guess lockdown lifted. You did those few shows where it was kind of neutered, and then I guess when would you say like it all went back to normal? Like normal. Like no seats. Everyone can like call and mix.
Gosh. I would say maybe like
Because I remember
it was
Willow's was like just
yeah.
streamed. Willow's like
Yes.
birthday live was streamed.
Yeah.
I don't know if like there's any other like lives on the Fable Future Twitch that were like, you know, like COVID era or like.
I think it was after Willow's birthday, honestly, because we weren't streaming them because when we could have people there, we're like, okay, we're not going to stream them because we obviously need to break even to run more events. So we need to sell tickets. So we need to encourage people to come be there live. And we didn't have much of like a overseas or like interstate following at that point. But yeah, I think it was literally probably actually after Willow's birthday live because we didn't stream them and we just started doing delayed viewings because also the internet at SCAC is so bad. It's so horrible. I don't know how anyone could stream from there because we would just constantly get like frame rate issues and then we would get it would just drop out consistently with the internet. And it was just like impossible to stream off it. And we had like Sunny's big chunky computer on a desk, like really doing its best, and it would just like not work. Yeah, it's it was a time. You know, it was a time. But yeah, I think it was after Willow's birthday live that we started being able to mix and have more people. But even then, like so Fable shows will still have like everyone will still have seats set up. We make it very like you have to have seating available for a crowd. Obviously you have a lot of people, especially in the Oz Idol community, a lot of the fans and idols are, you know, neurodivergent. There's a lot of disabilities in the community. People need to be able to sit down, so a lot of us will have like a half-seated crowd and then just have enough chairs for whoever's bought tickets, and if they want to sit down they can sit down. Very big on accessibility because otherwise if you're not catering for those people, like they're not going to come back again and they're going to be uncomfortable, and we don't want that. We want everyone to have a good time. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess like when I went to Japan, I think like every single Taiban that I went to, it was standing only except for one, which was in an auditorium, so there was like rows of like, you know, cinema seats I could like sit down at, but like that's literally the only one where like
damn,
it was like, you know, accessible, friendly, or like, you know.
Yeah.
So it And then I guess like US, I don't think we had seats for like the two, I guess US Taiwan type events. Yeah, this is all standing only. So yeah,
all standing. So, I feel like we would get roasted alive if we didn't all standing in Oz. Absolutely roasted.
Yeah, at least you guys are like doing it better than us. We just don't I guess we don't really care, but like yeah, we should probably like do more seats and stuff.
Put more seats, it's important. Yeah, you've got to, you know, it's making it accessible for people is like I think a big thing, because like obviously when there's more lives going on, like in Japan you'll have lives all day, every day. There's always something going on. Whereas in Australia, there was a point where we were having one every weekend, but it wasn't always like that. It very much was like there would be a show every few months from like a different group. And then now it's way more regular. I think there's one like every 2 weeks. But like, can you imagine someone coming to a show for the first time and they're like, oh, there's nowhere for me to sit. I'll just stand. It's fine. And then like say if they've got a disability that is hurting like their bones to stand and they're literally like, I need to sit down. I don't really want to be, hurting. So yeah, I would hope that like the American venues would look at getting seats too, but it's also hard because depending on the venue, like you may or may not be able to set that out because
Right.
the setup is the whole thing. Like if you don't have room for seats, like what do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bleh. Like what Sunny said. Like yeah, the audience here often talks about like how OS events seating.
Mm.
Japan, no, no,
No seating.
no.
Stand
You must
and suffer.
stand in water, stand and call.
Mm.
But like, okay, a little bit of sidetrack there, but that was
Sorry, yeah.
no, because like, yeah, it's very interesting that like Oz has like seats we don't. Japan rarely doesn't. So yeah,
Yeah.
I guess lockdown lifted. You started doing more shows. When did you decide to like, I guess, hold auditions for more members?
So we were like, cause so we wanted to do more shows and we wanted to do more things, but at this point, Willow was like on and off hiatus because they had a lot going on. And they were also focusing because they were cosplaying like semi-professionally. Every time there was a convention, they would be cosplaying at the convention and all of that stuff. And it got to the point where me and Sunny were like, we can't keep doing duo sets. We want to do more like high energy sets. We want to do more songs that have more people. So what if we like do that and get more people, and it'll alleviate admin as well, because like the amount of admin work there is to do is so much. And when it's just like one or two people doing it, it's so difficult. So we were like, having more people I think would be good. It can both take some stress off the like back of house side and organization, but also it'll make it a more enjoyable experience for us on stage, because me and Sunny are obviously used to like performing with multiple people, not just three. And then we're like, I think it's a good idea. We sussed it out with everyone and everyone was fine with it. Because like within Fable, the number one priority is like our health and our mental health and like how we are feeling about it. And we want to make sure that everyone's having a good time. And if someone's not having a good time, you have to fix it. And we were not having a good time with all of like the back of house work that was falling onto like one person. So it made sense to have more people. And I think like having the two new members really helped with that, like a lot. It was a godsend.
So, held auditions. I'm trying to remember what did Sunny say? Held auditions. 20 people applied. 10 people actually went into the audition. What you specifically? What were you looking for in a new member?
I just wanted someone who wasn't going to be a dickhead, if I'm honest. Like, I really, because I had such a special relationship with everyone in Muse, and I have such a special relationship with everyone in Fable. We were all quite close. I wanted someone who was going to mesh well, and I wanted someone who was going to be able to both keep up and not be intimidated, because we, like, Fable were very close as a friend group. And I didn't want someone to come in and like feel unwelcome or anything like that. I didn't want people to like be like, oh, they're excluding me and stuff like that. So I wanted to look for someone who was like bright, lots of energy, and someone who was going to mesh well with the current members. That was like the main important thing. And if they could hold a tune, that's good for me. Yeah, so I think we were very, very blessed with finding Mei and Naya, because yeah, like there was so many people that applied for the audition, and yeah, like Sunny said, not many people turned up. Like they were like, yeah, I'll be there.
Slice
they did
in
not.
half, 10 people.
They were not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not many people came, and it was a pretty easy process as well. Like people learned a song, they performed it. We got to see like how they are in front of other people. I wanted to find someone who was kind of confident as well, because we have very intense. I'd say Fable have very intense personalities, uh, in like very different ways. Like Sunny is very like they are thinking, and they're like, I'm looking directly into your soul. I'm gonna read your tarot right now. Um, I am very much like an intense person in the way of I have a lot of energy, and I am very like overbearing. To me, like that's like I can't word it nicely, but I'm like comfortable with that. I think I'm just very extroverted, and I like to let people know that. So we needed someone who was going to be able to keep up with me as well. Um, and also like Willow is very like they're fucking hilarious, and people don't realize because they're very Willow on and off stage are very different people, and I really respect that divide that they can have. And when you get people who are coming in and they're like used to Willow acting one way, and then they see her acting a different way, they're like, who is what? And so we needed someone who was going to be able to mesh with all three of our very intense personalities. I think we did really well with that, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
Perfect picks.
Yeah. Mayhem, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you guys got 2 new members. You start performing. Willow was still on hiatus.
Yes.
Yeah. So, start performing as 4, and
We'll
then
point at 4 for a while.
and then what was it? You graduated first, right? From FAEBLE.
Yes. Yeah, we had 2 full 5-man lives before I graduated. We had Sunny's birthday live. So we had Fabletopia, and then we had Exordium, which were the only 2 5-man Fable lives, because everyone had either been like available different times or stuff. So we only had 2 with everyone, but they were really fun and they were really special. So
What would you say like was the toughest gig that you did as a member of FAEBLE?
like performance wise,
Like tech difficulties,
or
injury, whatever.
the toughest one, honestly, dealing with like broken bodies, and like because Sunny has a lot of health issues, so we have to adjust choreography and make sure that they're comfortable with doing things. Like they can't get on the floor a lot. And I think like the toughest thing was trying to adapt, if that makes sense. Like not because it was their fault, but trying to adapt with like letting other idols know that, hey, it's okay to change things if you can't do it. Because not a lot of people would like understand that. They're like, I'm not doing the dance perfect, or I'm not singing perfectly. And it's like, it's fine. You have to look after yourself and also your vibes. They're the most important things. And big on like we have the Fable triangle is like the idol trinity. You've got dancing ability, singing ability, and vibes. I live in the vibes category. This is where I live forever. I live in the vibes category, and I'm so comfy there. Yeah.
So, I guess yeah. So yeah, I like adapting to like different things is definitely tough.
Adapting was definitely the toughest.
At least you
I'd
guys
say.
did adapt. So yeah.
I think we did pretty well.
So I guess I got Sunny's perspective. I got Mayhem's perspective. But I guess like from the perspective of someone that actually graduated from a group, 1, why? 2, what was it like when you broke the news?
Well, it was a lot. I had a lot of emotions. I had gone through basically like the beginning of the end, to put it dramatically. I had gone through a very big life thing in my personal life, it was a very intense time. It was a very weird time for me. Um, and I was just like not feeling great about both myself and like where I was in the community, and I was just thinking about everything very differently. Um, and I was like, I'm not feeling great in Sydney. I felt really trapped in both like my job, and I just felt very like not good. I was not feeling great. And I had mentioned to Sunny, and I was like, "Hey, like I don't know, I don't know if Sydney's for me anymore. Like I feel different. I feel like I shouldn't be here." And they were like, "You belong here. It's okay." And I remember specifically, we were in a restaurant. It was me, and it was our me, Sunny, our photographer, and we were hanging out. We are eating, and I was like, "I think I have to move away." And they were like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Listen, there's been no thought process behind this. I thought about it for like a day or two, and I was like, I think I need to relocate. I think Sydney is not for me anymore. Sydney has a lot of amazing memories for me, but it also has a lot of painful memories for me. And I think I was just really not having it, and I was just feeling really bad, and I felt like I wasn't doing enough in the group, and I felt like I was letting people down. Um, and it was very like upsetting for me to do that. And then I had a job opportunity come up in Melbourne, and I was like,
Why not? Yeah.
Sunny, I think I might move. I think I might. And they were like, "Well, if you move, you can't be in Fable anymore." I was like, "Why not? Can't I just? It's fine. We'll both be at Smash. I'll just perform once a year. It's okay." Because originally I wasn't going to do any solo stuff when I moved. I was just gonna like chill for a bit and not do anything. But yeah, they're like, if you're moving, this isn't gonna work. How are you gonna come to practice? And I was like, you know what? That's very true. Actually, I will not be able to come to practice. And I really had to like think about it, and there was a lot of thinking in that process. Um, but at the end of the day, I was like, I need to look after my own mental health before anything else. Uh, Practice what you preach for once. So I was like, you know what? I think I need to move. Um, and I ended up I think I told everyone at different times, one after the other, because I just was like, I can't tell everyone together. I could not do that. Um, but yeah, I was just leaving is probably like moving and relocating has been probably the best decision I've done, because I feel like my health is much better. I feel much better. I am way happier down here. Being away from Sydney has really helped me in that way. Um, but it was so tough because like I lived there my whole life. These are like my closest friends. I didn't want to leave them, and like we had just had the new members. Like I think Mayhem and Naya had been with us for about a year, but when I had moved, so we were still, and like we got pretty close. Like me and Naya especially are very very close. We got very close just before I moved, so that was heartbreaking. I didn't want to leave them. Um, but it was a very difficult decision, and like especially now, like I constantly am complaining to Naya. I'm like, I feel like I'm not doing enough, and like I was so proud of them when they had the EP come out, and like obviously as like a soloist, I much prefer being in a group. I would much rather be in a group. I miss that so much, and it's my preferred for sure. Um, and it's like when I saw the EP come out, like I'd get sent little instrumentals, and they're like, Kristy, look at it, and I'm like, it's happening. But that was also very upsetting because like I couldn't be a part of it, and I really wanted to. I really wanted to be a part of it, and I had to look after myself first.
Yeah.
Which was important. But I love them all a lot, and there was no like ill will. There was no. So a lot of people were like, "Oh, what's the drama?" And I'm like, literally, I'm just sad and gotta go. Like, it's fine. There's no drama. um, but yeah, it was really hard. It was really upsetting to get through because of how close we all were. And like even to this day, I'm like, I miss it so much. And like yeah, but we're all very close. We all talk still constantly. Um, but yeah, it's really hard. It was really hard to leave. It was.
I guess like last two Raw, I guess last performance as a member of Fable was at Exordium, right? What went through your head like at that live?
Not much. I was like completely like I cried a lot, and I hate crying in front of other people, which
same.
is so bad. Oh, it's so bad. And like because I stream Final Fantasy, I cry a lot on stream anyway, but like in front of like a live audience is completely different. And I feel Exordium was like a lot of tears from me. And then I make other people cry because I'm just an ugly crier and it's what I do. But like it felt like it went so fast. Like when you're on stage, things go by fast anyway. But I feel like Exordium was really, it's like I was barely there. It's like I was watching it in third person. I feel like I didn't get to experience it as much as I hoped because it just went so fast. I was so grateful though because so many people came that like hadn't really come to many shows like in a while, and they're like, I came back just for the graduation. I was like, oh, oh thank you for coming. But it was a really fun live. I had a good time. It just felt like it went so fast, and I didn't get to do everything I wanted because I was barely like in my own brain at the time. But we had a heap of people come and a heap of people support, and you know, I got to see at Smash. So one of the fans was wearing my graduation T-shirt, and I was like, and he was like, "Look at it." But yeah, it was a really fun live. I just feel like I barely even experienced it because I was just so upset. But yeah.
So I guess Exordium happens. You formally graduate from Fable, and then move to Melbourne. New beginnings.
New beginnings.
New beginnings. Moving from the Sydney idol scene to like the Melbourne idol scene. How different was it?
So different. So different. Like I cannot stress how much there is like just a difference in growth in the scene. I feel like in Sydney we have been growing the scene since the first independent live, which was apart from AGS, which is like you would know about AGS.
Yeah.
From
Rio and
yeah,
Gumi, yeah.
from Rio and Gumi, yeah. So from AGS, they were like obviously you'd have like independent lives, but that was after AGS had stopped. There wasn't many others, but we had started doing independent lives. I think it was like 2019, maybe whenever Valentine's Day live was. I don't remember when that was now, but whenever that was the first live. So we've been growing the scene for quite a while now. I'd say it's like 4 or 5 years. Whereas in Melbourne, I think the first independent live was the Liveable when I came down. Feb 2020 was V Live. Thank you. So Feb 2020 till now, so 4 years.
Yeah.
And then in Melbourne, there wasn't any like shows that were outside of a convention. There was nothing here, and I was like, really nervous because I obviously, as I said before, I wasn't planning on doing a bunch of solo stuff, but Charm Point is a Melbourne idol down here. She was like, hey, I want to try and run a show. Will you perform at it when you move down? And I was like, Okay, absolutely. I drove down on the 17th of April and the performance was like the next week. So I was instantly like thrown into that. But the scene is very different. It's very much I'm calling it I've been calling it like the 2019 Sydney scene, which was all like cover idols, a lot of cosplay idols. It was a lot of that, a lot of first branching into original idol stuff. So in like 2019, 2020, the entire scene was doing like Wasta. There was a lot of like similar songs with that, and I feel like Melbourne is very much in that part of the growth and development at the moment. It's very much coming out of cosplay idol. There's some people thinking about like original music, but it's still very like a slow process, and they're getting there. But I feel like it's quite a few years behind Sydney's scene, and there's not many water down here. We have one. Shout out to Daniel. But every time we have a live, there's something in Sydney, and he will fly to every live that Mayhem is at.
Oh my
So
god.
yeah, we love him. He's great. He supports the scene so much. But also, he doesn't get to come to Melbourne live because he flies up to the Sydney ones. So like, what are you doing? But yeah, there's not many water down here. A lot of our pits are other idols who are wanting to understand mixing more. A lot of the pit is very, very female driven, actually. Sydney is a lot of guys, whereas in Melbourne, I think my release show, I had
there was a lot of like girls there.
yeah,
I
there was
remember
a
like
lot
seeing
of girls. It was great. Oh, so good. Women, whew, love them. Yeah, it was so great, but it's a very different atmosphere, I think, in Melbourne. People are slowly learning, and I think it's only going to get better. We just announced 2 lives for Anamaga weekend, which is in a month. Actually, it's in like 3 weeks. Which is exciting, and I'm hoping that with that there's more independent lives. Because the first one was Liveable, which was, I wouldn't say a Taiban event. It was very much like a idol showcase, kind of like what you would see at a convention. And it was very like there was a lot of collaboration songs. It was more of like a collaboration live than a Taiban. But it was a good starting point, I think, for people to realize, hey, we can also have a scene like Sydney does. It's just going to be a bit slow moving at first. And yeah, that the Liveable live, it was really good because I was very thankful. One of the WOTA from Sydney had flown down to come and support me, which was really sweet. And you know, we have a joke in the community that he used to write like reviews of shows. AKA, I would just ask him, "Hey, what did you think?" And he'd just fill up my message with like an essay. And I remember getting that essay back about Liveable, and he was like, you know, it was like genuinely like an enjoyable experience. I was like, good, okay, I want to do more of this down here. It's very difficult to get people to come to events though outside of conventions because they're still in that like baby transition period. I think for my release live, my goal was 15 tickets, and I think I sold 16. So I still made my goal, which is really exciting, but it was very difficult to get to that goal because people aren't really super into Idol yet, and they're not sure about it, and they're like, "Oh, maybe I'll go to the next one." It's like, I don't know when the next one's going to be, fam. Be completely honest with you. Come to this one because they're not every weekend like in Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So um I guess what was it like at the very first like shows that you performed at in Melbourne? What was it like polarizing for it like to be so different or like holy shit.
Oh,
My
you
bad.
okay?
I am good.
You
Holy fuck.
bless.
Bless me. But like yeah. How like in your perspective, like how was it performing at those first shows?
I think it was very different. It was a little bit like confusing as well because my main thing, obviously, as I've said, is vibes. I love to bring the vibe. That's what I want. That's my charm point, as people say, is vibes. So having like such a different pit, as such a different crowd, was very very hard to adapt. Which is why I've tried to take it, like I've tried to do more calls on stage, so that the crowd can sort of get to know them and get to learn them, because they are still very baby with mixing and stuff. So I'll just mix on stage and hope for the best, and like maybe someone one day will join in with me. Um, but it was very different, and I think so. Even now, like in Melbourne, I've performed Liveable when I first moved down. I performed at a bunch of conventions, which I wouldn't really count. Um, but outside of conventions, I've only literally performed twice. It would have been at the Liveable event and then at my
Release.
debut release. Yeah. So there hasn't even been much of an opportunity to really get that going. There's also a lot of expensive venues down here. Melbourne has the same issue with venues. It's the arts central of Australia. Like, it's where all the arty farty people live. And there's a heap of venues, but they're all quite expensive for someone of like myself running. A business, you would be fine. If you had funding, you would be fine. It's just I can't be forking out like $1,000 or $2,000 for a hall when I'll probably lose about $700 from it. Because you've got to firstly make back in tickets, and then you've got to try and make back in merch, and then you've got to pay off your sound and your lighting guy, and then if you've got a photographer, you got to pay them off. Money.
A lot goes into these shows.
Yeah, a lot goes into it, and you don't always break even. And I think that's what the Melbourne scene needs to learn. Like, it is hard, it is difficult. You just gotta like keep pushing through, and people will come. We're finding them slowly. The water will come.
So in Melbourne, idol shows were not as frequent as Sydney. So I guess when you did your release, your EP release for Murasaki Moonlight, how did you garner interest for that?
I was posting about it a lot online. I was trying to do like the whole, listen, I'm a bit of an old goose, and TikTok confuses me, but I tried to do some TikToks, post on the Tim Tom app. I was posting a lot on like my Instagram and my Twitter. I was talking about it on stream a lot. I had printed out some flyers and put them around the city as well, with like QR codes on like just poles, and like putting them in like pop culture stores. And I was advertising it at conventions. I was trying to like really push it, but at the point, I only had online to try and advertise. I didn't have any, like, I had one convention I think before it that I could advertise at, but for the rest of it, it was purely online and like seeing who will come out and support. And because I'm still quite new to the Melbourne scene as well, like I have some friends down here, and there is some fans down here, which is really, really nice because they're all so supportive. And the Melbourne scene is very sweet and very wholesome, and they're very like, they'll they'll come up during checky time and be like, "That was so fun. I'm gonna learn the tiger mix." And I'm like, "Yes, you are, baby. Yes, you are, and I'm gonna be right here with you." It's very wholesome, but like advertising for that was really difficult because it was purely online, and like, yeah, like I said, I think I sold 16 or 17 tickets, so I hit my goal, but it was rough getting there.
So I guess I keep saying I guess, but like
That's okay.
as a solo now and performing like for more than like 30 minutes, what did it feel like? Did it feel like more stressful compared to like doing a one man or like a set with FAEBLE?
For sure. I think with a group, you're allowed to. So obviously, you're always switched on. You're always giving the most. But with a group, you can kind of match your members' energy, and you can really like bounce off other people. Like I said, the vibes. You can bounce off them and have cute moments with your group members and have moments on stage with them. And it's very different as a soloist because all eyes are on you all of the time. All eyes
I
eyes. They're on you like all the time. They're not looking away. They are always going to be paying attention to you. There's no one that you can like palm that attention off to, which can be quite scary, I think. The first few things I did as a soloist, I was pretty nervous. Especially like my first Smash solo performance, which was last year. That was terrifying to me. That was really, really scary. But I think it's really fulfilling having everyone be looking at you and they're like, you know, all of the pen lights they're all purple and everyone's there for me. And if they're there, I know that they're there for me and to support me as an artist rather than me and all of my friends, which is also very nice. But it's a very different being a soloist and having like people there for you specifically. And it's very motivating to make you want to do better and you want to do more. And I think with solo idling, the vibes, I think for me, I feel much more comfortable now. I feel way more comfortable. At the beginning, I was very nervous, but even I think Sunny had said over the weekend at Smash, they were like, "You're never coming back to Sydney. You belong as a soloist." And I was like, "Stop it." And like Naya said the same thing. Like it's very motivating having people come just for you and want to support you and things that you are doing. But it is very different. It's very, very different. But I find that I can like interact with people more as well because I don't feel like I'm taking away from whoever's singing at the moment or whoever's in like the center at the moment. I can like constantly be crowd interacting and that makes me really happy. So yeah.
So you did the release, the EP release live for Murasaki Moonlight.
Yes, Murasaki Moonlight.
I saw the VOD and you performed Murasaki Moonlight, and then afterwards you said this song or whatever will be coming probably next month. It's not on streaming.
Yeah.
Where is
it? Yeah, so it is coming, I promise. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So every time I get like if I get like a mix, I'm like, you know what? I think I need to redo that. Or you know what? That's not working. We need to change it a little bit. And another big reason it's not on streaming platforms is the person who's doing the mix for me. So I basically got my song stripped and redone in like, I think I'm going to say like November, December last year. Because I've been working on it since I moved to Melbourne. I was originally trying to have it for like the first Melbourne event. But the person who's mixing it for me, and they basically stripped the whole thing down and re-recorded it for me with like proper instruments. Because the first person I got it commissioned from, it just wasn't sounding how I wanted it to. So yeah, a good friend of mine, it like stripped it all down and redone it. And they're mixing it for me, but also they run IDOLEYEZ.
Oh.
So they they are very busy all of the time. They're busy running all of the idol boxes and the idol nexuses. And they also work for convention stages. So they've been very busy. And every time I'm like sliding in the DMs like, hey, have you got anything for me? And they're like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, okay. But I did tell them I don't know if I should. No, it's fine. Fuck it. It's fine. I told them before Smash, I was like, I want it on streaming platforms before Smash, or I'm going to castrate you. And they're like, okay. It's still not on platforms, so I guess I'm on my way to their location. No, I think people are willing to wait, which is really nice. Like every time I apologize about it, people are like, oh, no, fine. Like, we know it's coming. But I'm also like, I feel like I'm letting people down because I haven't put it out yet. And I feel like there's only like having a song live and having it recorded as two very different things. I think I perform it better live than how it is recording wise. And like, that's the thing. Like, I think I've learned a lot since I did record it. I've definitely improved my singing since then. I'm still learning my growls, but I feel like they have improved since then. So now I'm like, well, I recorded my vocals for it 7 months ago. Like, do I just re-record it and we just delay it? And then I'm like, no, don't do that. Just let it come out. It'll be less than perfect, but I think with my next songs, I know more and that I'll be able to implement the stuff that I've learned with them instead.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
But it is coming.
It'll be worth the wait. Take me through, like, I guess the creative process of creating that song, Murasaki Moonlight. Like, what is it about? Like any influences? Yeah.
So I had said to myself, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna be a soloist. I want a song, and my whole plan was I'm gonna wait to do solo stuff, and then the first time I perform, I'll have Murasaki Moonlight. And it'll be like a whole thing. Because I love the idea of, I've always wanted to have a group that debuts with an original song rather than doing covers and then has an original song. But it's just like not financially feasible. There's no way. But I think the process was very long. I started. When did I start? What month is it? Gosh, we're in August.
It's August.
So
Jesus.
I started when I moved down last year. So it's been about 1.5 years since I started the song. I wanted it to sound. A lot of my inspirations were like, really love Black Nazarene. They're like my favorite idol group. I love them. And I really wanted it to be a little bit like that sort of vibe with a little like baby metal influence. Because I really enjoy Annie song. I also put a few like little anime OPs in my little playlist. I was like, can you make it sound like cool anime OP going to battle, but also we're headbanging and it's really fun. And the person I was working with was like, okay, bet, yeah, I can do that. Easy, sure. And I think they did really well with it. And originally it was going to sound a lot different. It was originally quite an angry sounding song. It was very much like, because I started making it when I was going through a pretty big life change. I was like, it's going to be very like, it was a little bit hateful, honestly. It was very much me just putting all of my feelings into the lyrics and being very like, I was very angry at the time and I was very like upset and I was just going through it. And then I completely reworked the lyrics because I had left them alone for a few weeks and I was like, okay, I'll record them soon, but I need to not think about it right now because I had other things going on. And I came back to them and I was like, I hate this. I hate how this sounds. I'm not a hateful person. I don't think like this all the time. But I think I needed to get that energy out and put it into a song to then let that song rest forever. And not come back to. So yeah, it was originally going to be quite an aggressive song, and I was like, no, I don't like how this is going. I don't want to be perceived like this. This is not who I am, like as a person. So I had messaged Naya and I was like, hey, how you doing? She was like, what do you want? I was like, well, and because my Japanese is less than adequate. Nothing, zero. I got nothing up in this head. It's bad. I forget all the time any knowledge that I have in Japanese. And I was like, hey, would you be interested in helping me redo my lyrics and helping me out with like the Japanese lyrics? She was like, okay. I was like, okay, slay. So we spent the next few months, like we'd have a Discord call like once a week. Mostly just to hang out, and then there'd be some lyric writing on the side. But Naya helped me a lot with writing the new lyrics, and making it sound good in Japanese, but also making it make sense in Japanese, because I obviously didn't want to be like insensitive, and I wanted to have Japanese lyrics because I am a J idol. It is what I want. And I was like, yes, I want it to be respectful to the language as well. So I was like, hey, Naya, fluent in Japanese.
Which
You
is
wanna
crazy.
help me out? That girl is insane. She can speak like 11 languages or something. It's ridiculous. And she sounds so good doing all of them. I don't know how she does it. Like the accent is so. Anyway, I'm a. Can you tell who my Oz Idol Oshi is? I don't know. That's so crazy. Who could it be? So she helped me a lot. We had another friend helping us as well. And it was just like, it was a much better experience making the lyrics that time with a friend, because I could put a lot of my emotions into it and put a lot of my feelings into it, but they would be like, okay, do you want it to sound like this or like this? And I'd be like, ooh, I definitely don't want it to come across like that. And they'd be like, okay, so we're not gonna do that part. We're gonna get that out of here and do something else. And it was a very nice experience to be able to like write my own lyrics and like have people listen to stuff that I have like written. It's really like made me really happy. But it's basically Murasaki Moonlight is basically about like inspiring yourself and the people around you to do more and to do better, and to like really think about what they're going through, and that there's always like light at the end of the tunnel. There's always that purple light, because I'm purple. Whoa, no way. Yo, did you know?
I didn't know.
I love purple. I have a lot of romies. Oh, you can't see my cam. Wait, if I do this, okay, you can't see, but there's a lot of Kuromi over here. I'm a big purple fan. But yeah, it was basically, I wanted to make people feel happy. I wanted people to have Genki vibes when they're listening to it, but also you can headbang in the breakdown, because metal is my favorite genre ever. And I think one of my favorite things, what I would like to do with my next song is I like the contradiction of styles. So if I could have like a song that sounds like I Life and like Bring Me the Horizon had a baby, that's the plan. So that's gonna come hopefully. But yeah, I really wanted to get all of my feelings into Murasaki Moonlight, and people have really liked it. I think that they've had a good time, and it makes me happy. I feel very shy about it because it's like my baby. I've put so much love into it. I've put so much work into it, and I've spent so long on it as well. I didn't just get it done in like a month or two. Like it's been like a year and a bit process. So yeah,
Well,
it's very close to me.
I can't wait for it to be on streaming, because I like the song. So yeah, I like.
What do you like about it? Tell me everything. Give me the review. Give me the eggy review.
10 stars. 55 stars. I mean, I don't know. Like, out of like your performance for the release EP, I like that one the most, because like it's your song, it's your like baby. So like it's good
really
to have
special.
like an original song compared to like doing covers. That's what I guess, like for me, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, but like
you can say it.
Like
Honestly,
I
amongst
respect it.
friends.
I respect it like when an idol like releases original stuff compared to like doing just primarily just covers. Which like with Fable, they released the EP and I'm like, yeah, the EP rules. So like, yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Wait, what's your favorite song on the EP? We're talking about Fable now. Everyone, shut up. What's your favorite song on the EP?
I want to say Wolf. Wolf.
Oh,
Wolf is good.
a wolf enjoyer.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so Eggy's a furry. That's fine.
What about you?
No, I feel you. Well, okay, mine changed. So before I heard the final mix, Wolf was my favorite. Because like before they put the lyrics on it, when I was listening to like the instrumental, I was like, this is fucking so good. And then at the end of it, when everything was out, FAEBLE is my favorite because that fucking riff in the beginning. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I love it. It's so good. This is a Fable appreciation stream. Yeah, I love FAEBLE. It's my favorite. I want a song like that.
Yeah, Stan
Absolutely.
Fable. Listen to the future.
Stan Fable.
Yeah,
stream the EP.
Stream the EP. Stream Murasaki
and then
Moonlight
stream my
whenever
one when it comes out. I promise.
But yeah, I have like times 10 more respect for like idols that have like more original stuff, or you know. But like, you know, whenever you're starting out, you have to like do covers because like original
cover
stuff
idol is
pricey,
it's the gateway. I
Yeah.
feel you have to go through a little bit of cover. We spoke about it in so at Smash. I ran 2 panels as well on idols, and they were called Idol 101 and Idol 102, where we were like talking about beginning as an idol and like things to know. And yeah, one of the things that came up was someone was like, what's the difference between like a cover idol and original idol? And I was like, well, you might want to sit down for this. A cover idol covers songs. An original idol has original music. That's it. Like, you can do either. I think they're both great, but I feel the same. I really enjoy when people start thinking about original music, or have it. Even like the little seedling of, I want to do that. I want to start looking into that. And then having people find their sound as well is just so rewarding. It's a really nice process to be able to watch. But yeah.
Yes, going from talking about solo or like the present now, let's go to the future. Stream to the future.
The future. Stream.
Are there like any bucket list things that you want to do or achieve as a soloist in like a new area in Melbourne?
Is this like goals in the beyond or goals pretty close by?
Either or, you know.
Either or. Okay. Well, okay. Idol goals close by. I want to be able to run more events down here. I want to figure out how I can afford to do that. Find, because there is some idols down here and there's more popping up, but it's about also finding people who want to do it seriously. And like, obviously being a cover idol, great. I love it, but I will always prioritize people who have original music in a tie bomb because I want people to spread their passion that way. And I want to give them a voice and I want to give them a space to do that. So I really want to run more events or figure out a way to finance more events. And I want to do that. I want to have more music. I would like to have an EP next year, but it's I've just got to figure out how to afford that, and then also running events for the scene. But I really want Melbourne to have more shows. I think I would really like that, and I would really like them to flourish and grow because they working hard. They're in that transition period, and I want more original idols. In the future, I would love to perform in Japan. I would love to. I know I'm very unconventional Japan idol, but I would really, I think, performing at Zepp. Ooh, can you imagine? Oh, so good. Performing at TIFF.
TIFF. That's a dream.
The Sky Stage. Yeah, I would love to be able to perform overseas. That would be the dream. That would be so cool. I just want to meet more people. You know, I want to meet more people. I know a lot of the Australian scene, and I've started to talk to more of like the overseas idols in like America and like Canada and stuff. And they're all so sweet. I'm a big Pinku stan. I love Alex
Oh,
Pinku.
Alex is fun to talk to. So.
I've been their fan for like it's kind of embarrassing. Oh my god. I've been a fan of them since they were doing Dansu de Pantsu at conventions like D2P, and I was like, oh my god. And when they followed me back one day and they like responded to one of my tweets, I was like, I'm on my knees. Like, stop. don't I cannot. Oh my gosh. So I want to be able to connect with more people and like talk to more overseas people and be able to perform with them. And I want to perform with Aiden. I love Aiden. Big Aiden. We love Aiden.
Aiden rules. Oh my god. Like,
yes,
yeah.
they slay me. I want to be able to perform with like my overseas friends. That would be a big goal for me, for sure.
I see.
Yeah.
I know you did both Idol 101 and Idol 102 panels, but we do have like a few regulars or like people that watch the VODs that are like starting out as idols. To sum it up, what's like your best advice for them that are starting out?
My best advice. Oh my gosh. If you're just starting as an idol, the only thing I can tell people to do is just get out there and like actually do it. I've had a lot of people be like, oh, like I can't join a group, or I don't know how to do this, or where do I even start? Like, you have to be filming yourself, learning from yourself and your mistakes, and also posting yourself online. Online is like the best way, I think, to get traction. Posting covers on YouTube. If you want to do performances at cons, like they will look into your social media. If you have a good social media presence, you will most likely get the spot. If they can see that you're regularly uploading to YouTube, like I found that I had a lot of really cool things come by my way and little cool like opportunities when I was regularly uploading to YouTube, which I started to do when I moved interstate. I think you just need to be present in the community as well. If you're not going to shows and supporting people, or if you're not doing your research with that, then people aren't going to want to support you back, especially in Oz. Like, Oz is very much, oh, they went to my live, they're debuting, I'll go and support them. Like, yeah, that sounds great. Like, new group, let's go. I think you've just got to be present online and present in person if you can. But if not, like, just upload things. I think that's like the biggest thing I would tell people. Upload things, and if you're ever unsure about something, ask people. People are too, I think idols are very afraid to ask questions because they think people are going to be like gatekeepy. No, babe, slide in my DMs. Like, I will reveal all of my secrets. Like, it's very important that idols have each other's back, especially in the, you know, what we have going on today. I think it's very important to have each other's back. So if you've ever got questions, like, just ask people nicely. Don't expect them to give you their XYZ Excel spreadsheet. Like, ask questions, post yourself online. Don't take criticism from people who shouldn't be giving you criticism. That's my number one thing. I ain't listen to no bitch who don't post online. If someone be sending you hate and they've got like an anonymous profile picture, do they really matter?
No.
They don't. Don't listen to them. If they can't, do anything for themselves, they don't matter to you. So don't listen to them. But a lot of the idols, I think, are quite supportive of other people, and they will help. If you've ever got questions, they will help you. They will absolutely point you in the right direction. So I think that's important.
I see. I guess my next question is like, in a couple years from now, where do you see the Melbourne idol scene going?
Hopefully up, bigger and better. Hopefully, I would love to have more groups down here, or even just people who are taking it a little bit more seriously, more events. Um, Hopefully, the events that I'm trying to run will take off, and we'll have them down here. But I think it's all like a with Melbourne, it really depends on how much effort people down here will put in and how seriously they want to do it. And if they want to do it, it's just a hobby, so fine. I get it. I was like that for a very long time. And I think there's a lot of you're valid for wanting to do things like this as a hobby, but also I want more people to be like, you know what? I do want to do this a little bit more seriously. I do want to have original music, and I do want to put in my effort with the scene with that. Um, yeah, I want it to keep growing. I want everyone to support each other. Yeah, I think Melbourne has a lot of good opportunities. I just want people to take them.
I see. Cause like yeah, it's definitely something new. So it's like
Mm.
it's hard to see where it goes, but hopefully it goes up.
Yeah, I would like that.
Like in general, I want most all like idol scenes that aren't in Japan to like be
Yeah,
popular. So
yeah, overseas idols rise.
I guess one other thing. What
Mm.
I do like ask this like every time, but like what do you plan on doing after being an idol?
Um, my like career wise, I've always ever since I was like in high school, I've always wanted to have my own cafe. And I really want to have like an idol space in that cafe. Um, so similar to what we had with AGS, except a little bit more focused on the performances rather than the cafe. I would love to have something like that. I don't know if that would ever happen, but I've always wanted to have like my own little cafe spot. It's been my little poor girl's dream since I was young. I always wanted to have. It's changed over the years. It used to be I wanted to have like a retro themed cafe, and everyone has they roll around on roller skates, and then I realized that's OHS issue to the max. We're not doing that. But yeah, for me, after Idol, I'd like to do this as long as I can, realistically. I'd love to be able to, you know, give my knowledge, I guess, to the future gen of idols down here. But I'd like to do it as long as I can. As long as my body is able, I want to be able to be on stage and stuff. But after that, I would like to have like a cafe experience place that people can hire the show or have shows there during the day or during the night, and have like a safe space for people to come to with good coffee and good snacks. That's the goal.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'd want that.
Come by, come visit.
Yeah. I'll take the $1,000 trip to Melbourne.
Oh, it's so expensive. It is so much more than that. I was looking at flights for Northwest Idol Fest, and it was like $2,000.
Oh my god,
It
no!
was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Man,
yeah,
it sucks. Inflation.
So expensive. I know, the economy. Blame someone. The economy.
Oh, the Kristy Cafe with a K?
Kristy Cafe. Ooh, with a K. That's good. Kristy Cafe. I don't know if it'll be me. I'll just be running it. Kristy Cafe. Guys can hire the stage. We play idol music all the time. It's Oremase on repeat every Friday.
I guess retrospectively, what would the current you tell the you that was about to perform for the first time with Muse?
Oh my gosh. What would I tell her?
You know, buy these lottery tickets, get these exact numbers, something. I don't know.
You think I'm a novice? Brother, I'm so dyslexic with numbers. No way. I think I would probably tell her that that she needs to look after herself before other people, and she needs to prioritize herself before anyone else in her life, and just focus on herself. Don't worry about anyone else.
Mm.
I think that's a big thing that I used to really get in my own head about. So, and also buy lottery tickets.
Buy lottery tickets.
Please, we need to be rich by now. We need to run events. Hurry up. Let's go.
Yeah. More money for the Melbourne Idols. Yeah, for sure.
You don't know it yet, but you're going to live in Melbourne and you're going to run events. Win the lottery. Yeah.
I guess any upcoming gigs that you want to promote?
Oh, I have so many. Oh my gosh. I need to get my graphic up because I don't remember what time it is. Okay. So on the 23rd of this month, in Melbourne, we're having Nishibatsu Night, which is going to be a taiban of like local Melbourne idols and also interstate idols. Which is exciting. It's run by Zero. They're really sweet. They've never run a live show before, so they're learning as they go, and I'm trying to help as much as I can. So I hope that people will come along and support. It's the night before Anamaga starts, which is really exciting. So you can start off your Anamaga weekend right. And then I'll be performing at Anamaga. You can see all the details on my website. Actually,
I can.
I have a schedule. I have a schedule on my website that has all the details. I'm debuting with Coda with Moe Monster at Anamaga, which is really exciting, which is a new special collab unit that we're going to do online content and also at conventions if we are in the same state, because Coda lives in Sydney and I live in Melbourne. So it's a bit it's a bit difficult, but we really wanted to do something together, so we're like, let's fuck it, we ball, let's just do something. So we'll be performing at Anamaga and then also at Idolbox after party after Anamaga, which is gonna be really fun. There's a heap of really cool acts, like Woolie's coming down. There's a heap of Sydney people. Naya's coming down. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah. Lots of stuff coming up from the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th of this month. I am performing, so come by. And I upload regularly onto my YouTube. Teehee.
Oh yeah, watch Kristy play Final Fantasy 14.
Also, yes, watch me play Final Fantasy. I stream 4 days a week. It's really fun, I promise.
All right, so this kind of concludes the interview. But we have one more reoccurring segment that sucks so bad. It's called the worst pep talk ever. So where Mighty Eggy Drago, has 1 minute. I have 1 minute to give you the worst pep talk ever. So timer starts now. Kristy, I want the Melbourne scene to succeed so bad, and I know you're trying your best to teach the new idols, teach the new WOTAs, have more people at shows, have more shows, and I want that to happen. I want more, more success in other scenes that aren't in Japan, because the Kaigai idol scene is so niche, but it needs to grow. In every single place it happens. So, yeah. Murasaki Moonlight is good. I want it on streaming as soon as possible.
It's good? You meant to say it's great.
It's great. It's awesome. I want it on streaming so bad. But yeah. And I hope for the best for the actual EP, for new original songs, because I respect I have a lot of respect for idols that have original shit. Yeah. And finish Endwalker, Dawn Trail, A Realm Reborn, whatever it is. And yes,
Endwalker.
That is it. Minute 13.
Yay! Oh, thank you. I feel so motivated. I'm gonna take on the world.
It's so bad. Every single time, it is awful.
No, that's beautiful. Are you kidding? I'm gonna save that as a clip, and I'm gonna just play it repeatedly when I feel down. That's what I'm gonna play. You
All
mumbling
right.
around for a minute 13.
All right, yeah, and that's about it for this episode of Idolize. But yeah, follow Kristy. Follow Kristy's Twitter. Follow Kristy's Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, MySpace, Napster.
Yo, friend me on MySpace.
Yep. What else? Yeah, Kristy's awesome. Follow her. Yeah.
Thank
and,
you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and this isn't it for this week because tomorrow, oh my god, tomorrow we have.
God.
No, Kristy's right here already. No.
Wrong one. That's me. What do you mean? I have to come back?
No.
Oh god.
No, but tomorrow we have a FAEBLE.
Yay!
And fresh off of performing in Japan. And hopefully the internet's gonna be good because with Aiden's episode it was pretty bad.
Oh no!
But
It's fine. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, but we have one
I
more
believe.
member of FAEBLE we can interview, and yep, 3 episodes in a week. Awesome.
You can do it.
I can do
believe
it.
in you. You can do it. Make sure you drink lots of hot tea. And
Oh my god, I need
with
tea.
honey.
Yeah.
Yes, get some tea. Get some honey. Put that shit in a cup, bitch. Get that down your throat. Drink it.
Yeah.
Make sure you're looking after yourself as well.
Yeah.
It's important.
Kristy, do you want to suggest anyone that you want to raid
Oh gosh.
at 9,
Let's see.
10, 11 a.m., 11:53 a.m. Os?
I don't know if I have many people online. I can suggest a Final Fantasy 14 stream.
Is there
I don't have
anyone?
anyone else.
Is there anyone idol related? Okay, fine.
I don't see anyone idol related that's streaming currently.
All right. The person I usually raid isn't even on, and they do Final Fantasy 14 stuff. Wooly's live?
Oh no!
Wait,
Who?
is Wooly live? Is Wooly live?
Wooly's live? No, Wooly's not live on my thing.
No. Mark, what happened here?
Oh, Wooly is live.
Oh, she is? What?
She just started.
Okay, so Wooly,
Starting soon. Go to Wooly.
Twitch, Wooly. Oh, perfect timing, Jesus.
That was really good.
Really
Literally
perfect
started
timing.
54 seconds ago.
'Cause I was gonna spam link Maria Marionette Muppet Cafe. So
Yes,
No,
yo,
but-
that I actually covered.
Oh,
Everyone should
yeah.
go watch my Puppet Cafe
that,
cover.
and watch the collab too.
And watch the collab.
Yeah.
They're really cute. Everyone did really well.
Yeah.
Wooly's in it. Oh my
Wooly's
god.
in it, and we'll be
crazy.
rating them right now. Wooly,
Mm.
who's definitely not a guest on Idolize. No, not at
Nope.
all. Nope. Mm-mm.
Never.
Never. Who
Mm-mm.
knows? I
Could
don't
not.
know. Anything can
No.
happen here in the Idolize place. And we'll be going to Wooly's stream. What are they even playing? Can't even see.
They're just chatting, I think.
Just chatting, eating some
Yes.
cheesecake. Yeah, we'll go there. Take care, brush your hair, be kind, rewind. Tomorrow, Naye. Yeah, and God bless Australia. I
God
don't
bless
know.
Australia. Slay.
Slay.
Thanks for having me. This was really fun.
Thank you for
Keep
being
doing
on.
great, Eggy.
You too,
You're
actually.
doing amazing. We all love Idolize.
I don't know. I could do better.
I'm
As
a VOD
host.
watcher.
Yeah.
Shut up. Take the fucking compliment.
Okay.
Take the compliment, bitch. You're doing great.
Okay. Go to end screen right now. God bless Australia and Canada. Go to Wooly stream.
Australians.
Australia.
Australians.